An eccentric group of toys are mistakenly delivered to a daycare center instead of the attic right before their owner, Andy, leaves for college. And it's up to the main character, Woody, to convince the other toys that they weren't abandoned and to return home.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with
Michelle,
Andre,
Louise.
and me, Emily. We're a family-friendly podcast where we pick a new Disney movie each week. We watch it, share our thoughts, and then relate it to pop culture, fandoms, and anything else that pops into our heads. Enjoy!
hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 89.
It gets more and more eccentric every time, and I'm not mad about it.
All right.
I want to go back to our first
wait,
episode.
what was that?
Say it
Blue's
super
Clues
monotone.
sound? Is that
No.
Oh, you did that. Good.
I know. And I didn't even watch Blue's Clues.
Neither did I.
All I remember about Blue's Clues is paprika. There's salt, pepper, and their paprika. Salt, pepper, and their baby paprika.
Why does he say it so weird?
Paprika. That's how they must have said it on Blue's
Paprika.
Clues. This week, we are continuing our Toy Story review marathon with 2010's Toy Story 3.
We are, but on a side note,
Oh, good lord.
I accidentally saw something. At California Adventure right now, there's a gospel music festival going on.
Okay.
And they're freaking singing gospel music in the Hyperion Theater. It sounds like a good time. Okay.
I'm really sad that I'm not there. I love me some gospel.
That was a big tangent.
Sorry, I turned my phone off.
Yes, this week, Toy Story 3, directed by Lee Unkrich, who is different than the Lasseters of Toy Story before us, and starring, the guys, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, Don Rickles, Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger, and Michael Keaton as Ken.
As who?
As Ken.
Wait, who plays Lotso?
Lotso is played by Ned Beatty, who you know as Otis from Superman the movie. He's like the oaf under Lex Luthor. That's all I really know him from.
Face like I know who that is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who did I think it was? Remember when we were watching?
You thought it was John Goodman.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like John Goodman, but it wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
Louis.
Oh yeah, you're not on
Sweetie,
mic.
not on a
You're
mic.
so far away from a mic.
He's literally
John Goodman?
200
John Goodman?
feet away from the mic having a conversation with us. He's. Do you want it? He's making fun of me off mic. Do y'all want to know what he's doing right now? He's getting snacks though, so
Is
I
he
guess
getting
I
some of those
shouldn't.
spicy
Looks
chips?
like he's.
No, we don't have spicy chips.
Oh, that's usually what he gets.
No, I think he's getting regular chips. But anywho,
Anywho.
again, side note. Hashtag always snacking.
Hashtag always snacking, of course. First impressions of Toy Story 3.
I'll start. Let's do some first impressions of the opening scene. No, I won't
is
do
cool.
my. This is my favorite Toy Story movie.
Is it?
It
Yep,
is.
it's the best one. Should have ended
I think I agree
with this.
Okay.
You guys didn't watch 4 yet, did you?
No.
No.
Okay.
But I can tell you that. Okay, haven't seen the fourth one.
Correct.
But this is my favorite one that I've seen, and the way that this one ends. Again, haven't seen the fourth one, but the way this ends is a beautiful trilogy.
Yeah.
And I remember when Luis watched this one for the first time, or at least for the first time in a very long time, he looked at me and was like, this was when they were announcing they were making the fourth one, and he was like, why are they making a fourth one? That makes no sense.
It didn't
Right?
make any sense.
Right.
I didn't
I
need
was
it
I
either.
was of the same mind.
And
all were.
but first impression is this one gets me in every feel. And
Yep.
you know that I'm not the feel lover, but
Correct.
in every feel. It's hilarious.
Yes.
It's sad. It's heartfelt. It's reminiscent. It's just it has everything that I need. Plus I like the music and I love that they're in toy jail. That's freaking hilarious.
Dude, they are in toy prison.
That is,
and
I mean,
Lotso
they're in
is the
big house,
warden.
and that's hilarious.
Hate Lotso. He grosses me out. Okay, Louise, first impression.
So my favorite one. They should not have made a 4.
That okay.
All right, they agree with
Lou
each
is
other.
also
That's an
from
impression.
Andre, first impression.
Yeah, I'm still going through which Toy Story I love the most.
Oh, you can't decide it?
it's still up in the air for me. And when we watch 4 again, because we did go see it in theaters, me and Michelle.
We've only seen it once.
Yeah, only seen it once. Yeah, I didn't like it as much as some of the other ones, but it's still really good. And the structure that I have these first 3 in is that like Toy Story 1's the OG, it's the greatest. Toy Story 2 is hilarious, it's the funniest one, it's the greatest. Toy Story 3 is the saddest one, it's the most powerful, it's the greatest. So they're all kind of like right there at the tippity top. And then Toy Story 4 is beneath all of them.
They definitely
It's
have
funny that you
different
say that
vibes.
because I agree in that sense that they all have their moment, right? Like they all have what makes them really unique, which is really cool because usually trilogies just like peter off.
Right.
But it's cool that each one has something that you can remember it for, and it does make it its best or the best in that regard, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's true. All right, my first impression is that I agree with Andre. This is the saddest one. The last time I watched this, we were on a plane flying to Europe, and I was like, I need to watch this again because I had only seen it once, and it was in the theater, and I remember crying hysterically. And it was no different when I watched it on the plane. And so this time when we was watching it, I was cleaning the house.
She was like, I'm avoiding
I was
all these feelings.
distracting myself.
She kept saying, the movie like just started. She's like, I hate this movie. I hate it. It's so sad. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's real hard. And I'm not saying I hate this movie.
Right.
I don't hate this movie. It's really good. It's probably is the best Toy Story movie, but I still like 2 better because that's like like my home field, my hometown Toy Story movie. Like that's the one I grew up on. But
No doubt.
I would say that even like upon these viewings and like first impressions this time is like probably is the best out of the 4. But it's not my favorite. But I love it and I hate it.
Well, and it's funny too because when you look at sad movies like in the Disney and Pixar repertoire, like taking out like stupid Fox and the Hound and Bambi and all that
Ugh.
all that stupid
Which
stuff.
we will get to eventually.
Never. we will end this podcast before we
Literally
ever
have
get
been
to that.
avoiding those
I
movies.
keep bringing up Fox and the Hand and Fox and the Hound. And they're like,
Never.
no, I don't
Okay.
think so.
So with that being said, without that crap, this was before Up, correct?
This is
No,
2010.
it was after
Or was
Up.
it after Up?
I think Up was like 2008.
I think Up is like 2009 or 2008. Let's
Okay,
see.
I'm sorry.
2009.
Then, okay, so I'm gonna say that this one is almost more sad than Up because I mean I'm a married woman and you guys are married. I mean the whole marriage thing, the whole life together is very sad. But on screen you watch them have an entire life together. This is like you lived the life with them.
Yeah.
And you watched all 3 movies and then you literally are like, are they gonna get burned
Are they all gonna die right now?
in a crisp? I mean,
I knew they wouldn't, but it felt like
Nah, I agree with you, Michelle. You were literally like, you knew in the back of your mind they weren't, but it was almost
didn't
like
matter.
being right on the edge of the cliff. Like, oh, damn, they are.
I
They
mean,
are.
like-
But they're not.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah.
But they're not. But they are. But
in
they're
the
not.
in the theater watching Toy Story 3, knowing that it's definitely the last Toy Story in 2010, right? Like this is it. This is the end of the story for
For
these
sure.
toys.
because he's going to college. Like,
And-
where else would this go?
As they're sliding slowly into the flames of hell, it's like this is how they're gonna end this movie, and then they don't. But like it really puts you on
Like,
edge. The
I
edge
watched
of your
this in
seat.
theater too, and I remember being like, "What?"
I remember the theater was silent. Like, it was silent. And I remember my mom next to me, like, bawling her eyes out because the next year I was going to go to college. And she was like, I was like, why are we watching this movie? Like, this is dumb.
Yep.
This is a bad idea.
Yup.
Like, we really shouldn't have done this. But is it a great movie? Yes. So let's get into the storyline a little bit of this one. Andy is grown up and he's going to college. But first, Andy's not grown up when the movie is first introduced, but he's a little bit older. And I gotta say, his imagination is wild.
Yeah, it's
because
off the
that
charts.
first opening scene,
My
once
favorite
again-
scene in Toy Story, all the way around.
yeah, that's your favorite.
Oh, God,
that's
so
how I
funny.
feel about the Buzz Lightyear opening scene in
Right,
the last
in Toy
movie.
Story 2.
But yeah, once again, they hit us with a great opening scene, and what
It's
is
a
it?
train heist.
Evil Dr. Pork Chop.
Yes.
Come on, Andy.
Miss Potato Head and Doctor. Is it Doctor or Mister?
I think it's Doctor.
I think it's
Evil
Doctor.
Doctor Pork Chop.
Yeah,
Evil
Evil
Dr.
Doctor
Pork
Pork Chop.
They're still in a train. Woody and Jesse are attempting to save the train. The orphans. Oh no! There's orphans
The
on
monkeys?
the train.
Oh, that freaked me out. Gross.
Yeah, the train falls off of a cliff that gets blown up, and then the Buzz comes and saves the train, and the Dr. Evil Pork Chop flies his spaceship in. It's all he drops a monkey nuke. It's fantastic.
It is just good stuff.
It's very cool, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
like
it is.
this movie starts, and it's like, hey, it's the toys I remember, and then things start moving, and the high action is happening, and it's like, holy moly, this movie looks so much better than Toy Story 2. And I don't know if y'all
Well,
listened
it's
to
so
last
much
week's
better than
episode,
Toy
but we were
Story.
like, Toy Story 2 looks great.
It's so
for
much
sure.
better than Toy Story 1 because remember, I remember when we watched Toy Story 1 that I was the one that was like, this animation looks awful. Like, I can't.
It was just bulbous. Like
And
everything
I
was
couldn't
really
look
round.
at it because I was so used to seeing 2 and then we had seen 3 at that
Mhm.
point that I was like, these characters don't even, like, it was freaking me out. So
Yeah.
yes, this animation's like amazing.
Animation is
Well, they look like real toys, like they're being
Yeah.
played with on screen. And I have to tell you that one of our friends, they got Adeline a Woody doll.
okay.
Okay.
Aw.
And it is the Woody doll with the hat and everything.
Mhm.
And she plays with him and leaves him on the couch. And I'm going to tell you this. This is kind of freaking me out a little bit because the way that he falls over
Uh-huh.
is the exact way.
Dead
he
eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're
Yeah.
freaking me out because you look just
Ew,
like him.
That's disgusting.
But he falls over on the couch just like he does in the movie. And I keep looking at him like his hat's falling off to the side. And I'm like, it looks exactly
Right.
like Toy Story
Yeah.
3.
When I
It's
turn my back, he's going to straighten his hat, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to turn back
for
around.
show. And Adeline will not sleep with him. Like
Mm.
every other toy she takes in her bed and she goes, no, Woody couch. And she puts him on the couch, puts his hat on, and leaves him there. Like he's watching Vigil over
Oh
the
my
house at night.
God.
I'm like, well,
Okay.
Sheriff Woody's got her back,
Sheriff
I
Woody's
guess.
on patrol.
You know what? One of these days, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get up and then in the middle of the night, and then just put Woody in a random place with his hat. So when Emily wakes up, because I usually go to work first, she could get freaked out.
That's
Sounds like a bad idea.
sounds like a bad idea, but
now you
got
got
to
to play the long con so she can forget.
Like
I
Elf-
know.
it's
At
like
least
Elf
now
on
I
a
know
shelf.
it. And you know I hate Elf on a
Yeah.
Shelf, so there
Yeah.
you go. Good. Torture your wife. Moving on.
Anyway,
But
so
with that being said, the animation is that good that
Yes.
it's freaking me out that the real toy looks so much like it.
Right.
yes.
So
Yes.
we get out
Very
of this high action scene. Andy he's still a kid, probably a little bit older now, like 10, 12 or whatever, versus 8 in the last movie or something like that. And he's playing with the toys, and then it montages him playing and playing and playing,
growing up.
growing
And
I
up.
love the montages
I
here,
do,
like the,
but the
space
worst,
of time
ugh.
moving.
And this gets me every time I watch this movie, and it. I guess if you are like a musically inclined person or whatever, during the montage they're playing "You Got a Friend in Me," and then the way it ends, it says "Our friendship will never die." And then they're just in the freaking toy box. Like, they don't finish the song at all.
Right.
It just says that, and then it goes to them being in the toy box. And every single time I watch this movie, it freaks me the hell out. Like, it's not okay that you didn't finish the line and you ended on the word die, and then they're going to die in the fire. It's like, why'd they do that, Disney?
Because they meant to do that.
I
Yeah.
know
said,
they did,
Exactly.
but it was
Hey,
like,
this is
They sat down to write this
Appropriate.
movie
it
and,
was like an
and were
emotional
like,
shift.
I'm ready to stress out some 90s kids. Here we go.
Yeah, and then they were like, ooh, let's just end the song on the word die and not finish the last line of the song? Come on. Why do you do this to
Yes, so
me?
the toys, it cuts to the present. The toys are running a desperate mission to get Andy to notice them. They have
Oh.
stolen his cell phone because he's now 18.
His little flip phone.
They stole his flip phone, brought it into the toy chest, called it with the house phone, and then had him pick it up and ring it. He pulls it out of Rex's hands, and and then he leaves, says, Molly, stop messing with my stuff. Rex goes, he held me. I can't believe he actually held me. And it's like, these guys haven't been played with in a while.
Well, yeah, and I'm trying to think
we're
about,
getting creepy desperate now.
Yeah.
Like, when did you stop playing with action figures, babe?
So my mom made me give away all my toys when I was 13. Because they were taking up too much space in the house or whatever. And so she was like, get all your toys together, package them up, we're going to send them off. And me being 13, I was like, I'm a big boy now. I don't need these toys. Here we go. I'm going to put them in the bags, and I'm going to get rid of them.
This is when I met Andre in high school. I'm a big boy now.
I'm a big boy now.
Lord.
I don't need these. I don't need 75 Batmans. It's okay. I can get rid of all of them. And
But don't you wish you had
And
them? Did she get rid of them, or are they in storage?
No, we got rid of them. We donated them.
sad
So
day.
I remember
said no.
specifically pulling the toys out of the chest, putting them into plastic bags, just like Andy does in this movie, and I was really sad, but I was trying not to show it because I'm a big 13-year-old boy now, and I don't, and I don't need these. But I really was sad, and watching this movie put me right back in that mindset of like, I don't know if I really want to get rid of all these. And I man, to this day, I still wish I had kept two of my best toys. I wish I kept Goku and Spider-Man, and I didn't.
And every single time we go like to the Disney store or we go to like the World of Disney store, he goes to the Toy Story section. He's like, I just always told my mom that I wanted the Buzz with the wings, and I didn't get it. And I'm like, babe, you'll get it when we have a kid. It's gonna be okay.
Well, it's funny because I think we've talked about this before, but I think it's because I was an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think that's the difference. And my mom has like this crazy sentimental thing. Like if I liked anything, then it was like we keep it.
She saves everything.
She saves everything, and she's not like a hoarder,
right?
But like my favorite toys, 100% are saved. Like I had an American Girl doll with like all the clothes and stuff. That thing is in storage. Like eventually she's going to bring it out and give it to Addie.
Yeah.
And like all of my books and all of the stuff that was, I mean, all those Duplos literally in the chest in front of us are from my childhood.
Are from you?
Yeah.
I don't have like toys that my mom saved, but I was an avid plushie collector, and I still am. It's an issue.
For sure.
I buy stuffed animals out the wazoo. And so all of my like, she made me go through them, and I remember I used to have like probably like 200 Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
And I think I only kept like 5.
Yeah.
Like she made me go through them and was like, keep all the ones that you want, and they're in storage. So I have like a ton of Tigger stuffed animals in storage, and I'm like, well, my kid's gonna like Tigger, I guess.
Well, and just
Why
just like I told Andre, I was like, we had all of those pillow pets. Like I had 2 pillow pets when Luis and I got married, and then we got together, and I'm pretty sure we bought like 2 more. We have like at least 4 or 5. And now that we have a kid, and well, we have 2, but one that at least loves them, it's like, oh no, those are the kids' pillow pets.
Right, those aren't ours.
Well, I know.
I don't have any sentimental value attached to those toys.
I did put the stuffed animals this time when we moved, but they had always been out. Like I had a hard time. Like they were on a very high shelf where I'm like, it's not embarrassing at all. I have my Tigger plushies out. But when we moved into this house, I kept them all in a box. Like all my plushies are in a box in the garage, and it makes me so sad. But I remember I gave a Tigger to Addie. I was like, Addie, I have this Tigger. So then if I come here, I'm like, Tigger.
Hey, one of them's out.
Yeah, it's hard. So and then
He's
I
being
remember
played with.
Being
Tigger's
played
being
with.
played with.
Yeah.
Isn't that used to be the car stuffed animal? Huh?
And I hope that
it is
Goku and
it's
Spider-Man
still
are being
yeah.
played with right now somewhere.
Great. So it's getting some use. So is it good that those toys were gonna get donated, Andre? Yeah, probably. Someone enjoyed them.
Yeah.
So that's the bright side. But it like really hit me when Molly's like kind of making fun of Andy. She like opens the toy box and she's like, "Why do you still have all of these?" I'm like, "Get out of here, little girl! You're rude. Like,
get your judgment.
Only reason I
put
say
it
that
somewhere
is
else.
because I have like 30 Tigger stuffed animals in the garage right now.
Right.
Like you'd be judging him.
Yeah.
He wants his toys.
And Molly was really quick to like, cause Andy's mom was like, "All right, you got some work to do too. Go in there and throw in some toys to donate." And she was tossed Barbie right in the box. No,
yeah,
nothing.
That was weird.
Very.
You would think like at her age she would still be like into Barbie.
Yeah, I mean possibly, but.
I mean, I didn't play with those kind of toys, so I don't really know. But.
Yeah, it might have been a thing. Like she already had to get rid of Bo Peep or whatever. They mentioned that Bo Peep is gone, and that was like her toy, right?
Yeah.
And so she might just not have as much of an affinity to toys as Andy did.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
She had other stuff going on. Busy girl, Molly. So mom is helping Andy prepare for college. She's having him put stuff either in the attic or in the trash. These are your 2 options.
Or college.
Or your college
attic
box.
Trash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he finally gets his act together, starts gathering up the toys, and he puts them in a plastic trash bag. Except for Woody. Woody he puts in the college box. He puts all of his other favorite toys in a trash bag, and they're like, "Oh no, it's happening! Here we go."
You think if he was gonna put them, but Mom didn't like bring him another box for the attic.
Yeah.
Like she should have brought another box.
So he puts them in the trash bag. He gets ready to go up to the attic, and then Molly needs help with something, so he stops, puts the trash bag on the floor, and then leaves. all the toys are like, this is it. We're going to be trash. This is trash. Woody can see that they were ready to go to the attic, and then Mom comes, sees the trash bag, takes it down to the trash,
Yeah, there's
and
always
they're ready to get shipped off.
Woody just always having to do everything. You gotta go save the day, Woody, I guess.
Yes. So he tries to go save the day. He tries to call Buster in. Turns out Buster is nice and old now.
Oh my
Hilarious.
god. And
So
I told Andre,
funny.
So fast.
Every part I knew was gonna happen while I was cleaning, I would turn. I was like, "This is great!" Like the Buster part. I'm like, "I love him."
Also, Buzz is only $32.93 on Amazon.com right now. So let me get out of this tab before I
Just
start
wait till
spending.
you have a son, dear.
Before I start spending money.
Andre's gonna have that toy all nice and played with before that baby gets there.
Anyway,
He's gonna be like, "Oh, son, this isn't your toy."
so Andy's toys on the street getting ready to be tossed in the trash. They have to make their
Stay out on
escape.
the street.
Hey, stay on the street.
They have to
Yeah.
make their escape, even though Woody is on his way to save them. They make their escape, and then they're immediately pretty resentful that Andy threw them in a trash bag and threw them out on the street.
Also, already resentful of Woody. They're like, "Woody, get out of here. You going to college?"
Right.
And I'm like, "You guys, calm down.
Yeah.
I get it, but also."
But tensions are high.
I said that in the last movie. I'm like, man, these toys turn on each other fast. They get mad at each other real quick.
Well, they're kind of like their age appropriate, selves.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
you know
they're
what I mean?
Like if they're
9,
made for,
10 years old,
yeah.
basically.
You going to college, Woody? You don't have to feel what we feel. And he's like, no, you're going in the attic. But Jesse coming in clutch with a great idea, and I really love Jesse in this movie a lot.
she's
you like
fantastic.
her in this movie,
Oh
right?
yeah, she's great.
I love Jessie.
She's got past her issues.
Yeah.
she's grown up a lot. But if we remember Jessie, we remember she has trash and storage issues in general. She's like, nuh-uh, we getting in this Sunnyside box right here. We're gonna go get
daycare.
donated to the Sunnyside
Daycare.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which is actually a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and things are happening quickly. So, Mom is ready to go donate these toys. So,
Yeah,
the
dude,
toys
Mom
that
is,
Molly put in
pushing
there.
them real quick. I'm
Yeah,
like, give 'em some
she's
time.
busy. She got stuff to do today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Spring cleaning.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was.
We're about to do that.
So,
Right now.
I started already.
so the toys hop in the box. Mom takes them to the daycare, and Woody the entire way there is like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. We have to go back. The attic is much better for us. Daycares are awful. They're places for unwanted toys to go and get destroyed by little kids." And they're like, "Shut up, Woody." You still
I
get
appreciate. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I love Woody, I also love it when everyone's like, "Stuff your face."
Yeah,
dude."
Woody,
Tell
whatever.
them all the time, and
I love
also
it.
Like, Woody, you're going to college. You don't care. You're not going to be in the attic with us. So whatever, So they do. They go to Sunnyside Daycare, and Woody goes with them
Mhm.
because he's still trying to convince them to go back to the attic.
Yeah.
And they're like, absolutely not. And honestly, daycare is really cute. Looks like fun daycare.
Daycare is nice.
great.
It's very pretty and colorful, and all the kids that they see look like they're having a lot of fun just playing with toys.
And all the toys are so excited. To see
and these
them.
toys are like, "All right, here we go.
And
This is heaven now."
I don't know if Disney Oh, also we forgot to mention that the dude who was shaking out the trash was totally Sid.
Oh, right.
That dude did not graduate from high school. He is a garbage man. You noticed that, right?
I
He's wearing
said-
that skull
Oh
shirt.
no! He could have just graduated from
Yeah,
high school.
I
Don't
said-
give him. Don't give him. He's older.
High
than
school
him.
ended
I'm
like
not
3
done
months
with high
ago.
school
You
yet.
know, he's had a good summer. He got a job at the
Oh,
dump.
he's like a year older than Andy.
Yeah, that might be
Oh,
true
that's
too.
true. That's
You know,
true.
but let him have graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He
we'll
made
give him
it.
that.
He's
We'll
not
give
working
him
for
He's
his
creative.
GED. He got
If-
his high school diploma.
You know, he could have
He can
been
get some
he
new
could have been an
shirts, but-
engineer if he decided to wear less skull shirts and open more math books.
That kid is.
Hey, maybe it's his summer job. Don't be buttholes. Okay?
That's true too. That's
Okay.
true too.
Anyways. Immediately, and like I was saying, I don't know if Toy Story does this on purpose, but I immediately always hate the villain. Do I like Sid? Absolutely not. Did I like what's his face?
Prospector,
Yeah,
Prospector Pete, Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete. Thank you. Absolutely not. I didn't like Pete at all, even when he was nice. And once again, immediately when we meet Lotso, I'm like, disgusting. Get out of here.
He's like,
I do
"Oh,
not like-
hello, new toys.
Oh,
How
now-
are
no, he's
you?
not Owen Wilson, babe. Okay.
Hey, new
Shakira.
toys. Wow, I can't
Wow.
believe it.
Also,
your
when-
guys'
I'll
hips
have
lie?
you know that when Shakira was on
I'll
the
have you know.
Shakira was on the halftime show, we were at his grandma's house. And, I was like, "There's me, Shakira." And then nobody understood.
Nobody
at all.
understood what we were talking about.
So good. Yeah, I don't like Lotso,
Wow.
and I also don't like Lotso when I see him in the stores. And like my little sister will always pick him up and like smell him because he smells like strawberries, and I'm like, get out of here, it's disgusting. I don't want it. He really weirds me out.
I don't want to hug him.
He
No,
has
I
a
don't want
pretty
to hug him at
popular
all.
Instagram page, though.
Really?
Yeah, lots in
Lotso?
the park.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what?
Interesting.
Other
Haven't
people
seen
can
that.
like Lotso. I don't have to. No. I don't like him. I don't like how he talks. I don't like him with his stupid little cane.
Whoa.
Pretending like he.
Whoa.
Girl, he's disabled.
disabled.
What's wrong with
I'm
you?
gonna need you to
Isn't
back
he?
it
Doesn't
up.
he not need the cane?
No, he's disabled.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Stinky Pete then when he hits him across the head with something.
That was cold.
I mean, he's definitely using the cane, but I think he can get around without it. Maybe not super
Oh, see,
easily,
I thought it
but
was a ploy. Man, I should have watched the movie more closely.
but he does come in and starts putting on,
A toy
you know,
ploy.
yeah, he
A toy ploy.
he's
There you
got
go.
his manipulation
Toy.
goggles on or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are gonna have so much fun here.
Oh, you
We're
sound
gonna-
like him.
You really do. You really
it's gonna
do.
be
You're
so
so good at
nice.
voices.
The kids are out there right now. When they come back in, get ready to be played with."
You know why it bothers me? He reminds me of like a southern. This is gonna sound. I'm just gonna say it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like a white southern, like, you know.
Like a slave owner?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh huh.
He does.
Because he absolutely is.
I'm so sorry. That's what he
1
sounds
million
like.
percent.
Like,
You're gonna love this. Like, oh God, no,
Like,
no,
you
we're not.
manipulative bear, you get out of here.
All you got to do is do what I say, and I won't have to get the whip.
I'm just saying that's exactly.
Stop!
what
And
he's
he
like.
basically tells them that he's like,
Yeah.
"You're just gonna be in jail." Okay, we'll get into
Yes.
this later. Anyways,
So he
So sorry.
he
but that's what I
convinces-
get.
well, a
he
lot
convinces
of the
them.
things, we'll talk about him. I have to say
Like
it now.
Ken's mansion is like the plantation. Okay.
I have to say it,
Plantation
I gotta
house.
say it now to get it out of my system. The worst thing that Lotso does in this movie, the worst thing, is when Mrs. Potato Head is talking and he takes her mouth off and he says, that's better. I'm literally going to punch you, Lotso. You're the worst. You can't go around taking people's mouths off. It's not okay.
I wish I could sometimes. I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
say
yeah,
it.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty good
but
power.
He did. This is Mrs. Potato Head. She was so nice. I
So
don't like him.
he convinces all of Andy's toys that this place is going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. Get ready.
Dope.
And then,
And then we meet Ken.
right, yes, Ken comes in.
The best
Ken and
character.
Barbie meet. They lock eyes with each other.
Literally the best.
And what is the song that plays? Is it Dreamweaver?
Have we met? I like her.
It's awesome.
Ask God.
You can kind of see like Buzz and Woody in the background, and their eyes are just like, "What is happening
They
right
like
now?"
don't understand.
It's
They're
honestly
like
one of
literally.
that's like a second best scene. That is
That's
all
like
of
my
the
favorite.
all of the dream house things.
Yes.
Like
Everything.
the way they move,
Yes.
which I think
the
we might have-
elevator when he's like cranking it.
dude, so funny.
The
Like
best.
I think we've talked about this on air before, but how much we like the Lego movies.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
the
I
reason
love
that we love them is
those.
because they're so realistic
Yes.
to if a Lego was
Was alive
being
and
used.
moving.
Yes.
as a toy. This is exactly the same thing.
The way they
because
walk too.
like Buzz
yeah.
doesn't really walk as Buzz would really walk.
Right.
He kind of just like
His hips are moving
know,
and
his-
stuff.
yeah,
you
like
know.
that's
I
how
want
he
to
would
be
move.
and me, baby.
but seriously, Ken and Barbie and just the way their clothes fit, it's
Mhm.
just so perfect.
Yes.
And they're shiny, and I swear they squeak. Like Ken, like definitely squeaks when he walks. I'm pretty sure. Like you know how
Because he's like all
you know how
plastic.
if you had a Barbie and you would move their legs to walk, and they're like. Like they're super squeaky.
It's
Yeah.
just so good.
I love
so
it.
good.
Yes.
So
Where
then
did they go? The toddler room.
yeah, so Lotso and his gang of toys, they leave. They go to the butterfly room. Andy's toys stay in I don't remember what it's called.
the toddler room.
The toddler room. And they're like, "Here it comes." Rex is so excited. He's so ready to be played
I love
with.
Rex.
And
Poor
and
Rex.
Buzz, as he's excited too, but he starts noticing all the toys that have been in there already.
But before
are, like,
this, we
hiding.
should say that Woody left, right?
Yes, Woody leaves in a huff. He's like, "You guys are betraying Andy. I'm going back to go to college with him, and you guys should be in his attic, but I guess you're not." So,
Yeah, so Woody doesn't
peace.
see what happens next, which
Right.
is literally also one of the best scenes in this movie.
It's
'cause
utter chaos. The toddlers come in, and they're
there's
just
no
little
music. It's just them
monsters.
screaming and-
It's so
and the perspective shots that they
funny.
do, like from below, from the toys, and
Yes.
it's so bad.
It's great. They're dipping Jesse's hair in paint. They're putting glitter all over Ham. They're just making big old messes out of everybody.
Because I have a 2-year-old. So
Rex's
this is
tail is
hilarious.
gone.
They do this stuff. I work with kids, man. They
too
rough.
funny.
Yeah,
We got a new Ninja Turtle toy last week, and that's already broken completely. They ripped his legs off.
Oh.
I was like, woo, bye, Ninja Turtle.
Leo, no. Yeah, so they get roughed up pretty good by the toddlers, and they realize that this place isn't as heavenly as they once thought.
Well, yeah, and then they're pissed at Lotso, and I think they confront him eventually. But before that happens, Woody's just trying to go back.
He's
right?
trying to escape. He's trying to
But-
get out of the sunny side and back to Andy's house.
But he gets taken by the cutest little girl.
Yes, he in his escape attempt, where he flies off the roof with like a wing glider that he found up there, or a kite, I guess. He gets stuck in a tree, and Bonnie, the little girl, walks up, sees him, and plops him in the backpack, and takes him
Bonnie
home.
is so cute.
Bonnie's very cute. Bonnie is very imaginative. She's younger than Andy was in Toy Story 1, and
Yeah.
she loves playing just as much
She's like
as Andy
preschool.
ever did.
She's like preschool age.
Yeah. Stuff like that. So she takes him home, introduces him to all of her toys, and have a tea party, and then she starts playing like Andy used to play.
And she's so cute when
Yeah.
she does the tea party.
And Woody is like, I gotta get out of here, but this is kind of dope. I like it here. It's very fun here, but I have to leave. What happens after that? Let me refer to my notes. Woody's living the dream.
Don't they ask him like, you came from Sunnyside, and then they end up having like one of their
Yes, there's a
one of their
flashback.
guys is there, and because Woody
yeah,
does
he's
hold
like
on, Woody
smart.
doesn't know that it's not all that it's cut up to be
No.
until
no.
that
Correct.
other toy tells him.
It was still
Yes.
like,
Woohoo.
So the clown, did I write down his name?
Ooh, I
it's
don't
like
like
the
that.
sad clown. But I
Yes,
don't know what his name
he's
is.
like a very sad
He's
clown.
from there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he the clown
George Clooney.
Clowney. He tells he tells Woody, like, oh, you came from Sunnyside? That place is nuts, and it's because it's run by an evil bear that smells of strawberries, Lotso. I know Lotso because me and him were actually owned by the same owner once upon a time. And then it goes into a very Jesse's
Yes.
girl style
That's
flashback.
Creepy big baby.
But it's creepier, yes, because Big Baby is there.
Oh, big baby.
Big Baby is awful. Big Baby is one of
He
those.
looked normal then, though, guys. Cut him some
Yes.
He
slack.
did look normal then, but dolls freak me out like that in general.
Yeah.
Like just the way
And
they
he
look.
got creepier. So the basic Lotso origin story is that a girl named Daisy was his kid, and she played with him all the time, him and Big Baby and the clown. And one day they went to a picnic area or whatever, a park or something like that, very similar to the tree that Jesse was
I
at.
wish they would have made it look a little different. 'Cause
Yeah.
It gets kind of confusing.
It's almost exactly the same. And they get left there on accident. It seems to be an accident. The parents
but it
take
might be
Daisy
the same tree, because
and
don't they all
live in a
near
similar
each
area?
other?
Yeah.
Other,
same
you know
town.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So toys just be
Toys
cutting
just be
up
getting
left and right
left
there.
out. Yeah,
Yes.
it's awful. Yeah, make out hill. We said.
Lou, you're talking into a non-existent microphone.
So Lotso and
He's just eating.
Lotso the clown and
And-
Big Baby all get stuck there. And Lotso, who I guess is very similar to like Woody at this point, he's like, we gotta
He's
go,
like the
we gotta go
favorite,
back to
yeah.
Daisy. Daisy needs us. We're her best friends. They make their way, take some hours to get back to the house, and when they get there, they've already replaced Lotso. They got a new Lotso for Daisy. Original Lotso sees this, and he just snaps. He goes nuts, insane. We all have to get out of here.
Immediately.
She hates us. She's replaced us. We need to go.
They didn't replace the others.
Bye.
Right. They didn't
him.
replace Big Baby or the
Follow
clown.
it.
They just replaced Lotso
He's got
because
those-
They wanted
uh,
to stay too, and I
Ye-
think he kind of like just like no. let's
Yes.
go.
He's got like those same issues that Woody had the first movie when Buzz came.
yes, exactly. We've been replaced. It's time for us to go.
So did they? And then they just went to Sunnyside.
So then they make their way to Sunnyside. Yeah. And then they take
took
over.
it over.
Basically.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and the only reason the clown got out is because Bonnie at one point showed up. He got broken, and then she took him home and fixed him, and that's why
Kept him.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So at this point, Jesse and all of them they're gonna like confront Lotso because like he legit lied like about how great this place is.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he tell them? Like, basically, you just have to do your time?
Well, I think this is at the point where Buzz sneaks out of the toddler room, goes to confront the other gang of toys, and sees them like gambling. They're playing with like the
Ridiculous.
what's that thing?
Roulette.
It's a roulette thing. It spins around and
Yeah,
it goes
yeah,
to
Yeah,
an
it's
animal.
roulette, Yeah.
It says duck. They're gambling with it. Like, I
have
hope it hits
one.
the duck.
I have one in there if you want to play
I
with
hope
it.
it hits the duck. Yeah, we're gonna gamble with that later. So they're doing that.
Duck.
They're saying that the new toys that showed up aren't that great. We can get rid of them, except for maybe the space toy. He's kind of cool. He could be one of us. And
Even Ken's in on it.
yeah, Ken is like the least into it of amongst all those other gang toys. 'Cause he's like
Gang
infatuated
toys.
with Barbie right now. He's like, guys, Barbie's different. Okay, she's cool. Leave her alone. Like, whatever, girl's toy. He's like, I'm not a girl's toy.
Like, definitely a girl's trip, bro.
Absolutely is, Ken. And then Buzz, I think, confronts them or gets spotted, and they tie him up. And
Dude, it's terrible.
and Lotso comes in, and he puts on manipulator mode again. He's like, you guys, what's going on here? Why would you tie up the
stop.
poor
I hate it.
spaceman?
You are very good at those.
I hate it.
Let's get you out of these cufflinks or whatever. And listen, if you want to be part of us, absolutely come on over. You could be one of us in the gang. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll go get my friends. Like, ooh, no, Buzz, not the friends. It's just got to be you. And Buzz goes,
We're so into watching.
Buzz goes,
this.
no way,
I
man.
can't stop watching you. It's very.
I gotta go hang out with my friends. They're the ones for me. And they go,
They're the ones for me.
and so Lotso goes, well, that's it. Tie him up. Get the instruction manual.
Yeah, dude, he got manuals on deck.
Manuals on.
There's like a bookworm toy that is in charge of all the books or whatever, and he pulls out the
Buzz manual.
Buzz manual. He's how to reset to factory settings. They open Buzz up, set him to demo mode, and he goes right back to
Why does
new
this
Buzz,
crap
basically.
Always keep happening to Buzz. He got an imposter Buzz. Now he's got the factory setting Buzz.
Yeah.
Poor Buzz.
Poor Buzz.
Poor Buzz.
So Buzz is basically an agent of Lotso at this point. He is he has
Kinda.
switched over to the other side
Ridiculous.
The Gestapo.
because
now.
of brainwashing, and they lock up all the toys. They take Jesse and
Yeah.
Rex and Potato Head and they put them in the cubbies.
So ingenious the way they did it.
Yes.
Like how they're in wire baskets inside the cubbies, so they're legitimately like in jail.
They're in
Like,
jail.
they
They're in
can't get out.
cells.
But they can see them.
At one
It's like-
point, you could hear like a harmonica playing, like in a jail scene, and then it cuts over, and Buzz goes, "Musical Ham, musical pig, stop with all the music!" And Ham puts down a harmonica. It's very funny.
Cam, still like literally the funniest.
Oh, his name was Chuckles the clown. Excuse me. That was a clown.
It wasn't George.
That was a clown's
Clowney.
name.
It
Um,
wasn't George Clowney.
So basically, from here, the plan is for Woody to because he's realized that Lotso is gonna make his friends' lives miserable. So he realized he has to go back to Sunnyside to rescue them, and then go back to Andy to put them in the attic and go to college or whatever. So he goes on a rescue mission, which then becomes like basically this whole movie turns into a heist movie at this point.
Yeah, it does.
Because
It really
Woody
does.
has to rescue everybody, and they create a plan using the telephone. He's
Yes, the
he's like
remember
deep.
what it's
He's like
called?
deep throat. He's like, "Hey man, I've been here for a while. I can help you out."
It is so funny.
It's very funny. And so they plan this whole heist when Woody shows up, and they have to rescue Buzz.
That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot to do.
It's a lot to do, and
I think that's why this movie is so impressive to me is that it's an animated movie with a lot of ambition. Because I feel like a lot of the other stories are so linear.
Yeah.
Not just Toy Story, but a lot of them, like Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
You find Nemo.
You gotta go find
Like,
Nemo.
Not that there's not a lot of
Yeah.
cool stuff that happens, but like this one has like first this is the point, then this is the point. Like they have so many different sub objectives. It
Right.
takes them forever to get to where they're going. It literally until the last moment. And
Yeah.
they never make it.
Right.
Which is hilarious.
Which is nuts.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
But they do a really good job doing that.
Yeah. So the heist plays out, and it's got a lot of cool twists and turns.
The best. I just like the potato head too.
Mr. Potato Head, he has to
God.
he has to create a distraction, and that distraction causes him to get put into the box, the sandbox.
Not the box.
box. I don't want to go in the box.
Disgusting.
He
actually.
goes into the sandbox, and since they've already planned this out, he throws all of his pieces except for his potato body out of a hole in the box, and then puts all of his pieces into a tortilla. He becomes Mr. Tortilla Head.
I literally want to throw up every time, like. Because of the way it moves.
It moves so
Like
nasty, like a
Like a
tortilla.
tortilla
It's all
would move.
floppy and wiggly and
It's
gross.
also really weird that he can personify himself in another object. We didn't know that was possible.
Yeah,
That's
what
such a
else
magic
could he
powers.
put himself into and become? Like,
Well, and that's so it's not the potato.
Right.
That's I feel like the potato's the most important part.
right.
It's
Apparently
not.
not.
It's not.
His limbs and eyeballs and things.
It's all of his,
Or his brain.
excessive. It's
Which-
in his eyes or something.
Which
I don't know.
also makes sense though, and I'm kind of glad they did that because I don't remember exactly where it happens, but Mrs. Potato Head, her eye
From the
she
beginning of the
lost.
movie, she's only got one eye. She's like, I lost my eye. I don't know where it is. It's in the house somewhere.
Yeah.
And by the time that they're in Sunnyside Daycare, Mrs. Potato Head is like, wait, if I just cover this eye and only my other eye is showing, then I can see out of the other eye. And
Right.
so you see from the other eye that she's like under a desk in Andy's room or something like that.
Yeah,
so
that
her
Andy really wanted them.
so her like consciousness is being split
That's what
between
I'm
her
saying.
potato body and her eye.
So it's weird.
Crazy.
Well, it's cool in the fact that now she can see that they actually were wanted, and that's why they're like, oh, we actually should
We
try to
should
escape,
go to the
like
attic.
versus just staying here and taking the punishment.
Andy wants us.
But that also makes you think like, okay, I guess it is their limbs and their
Accoutrement.
removable accoutrement.
Magical potato.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Their brain is in
It's
their
crazy
hats and their
stuff.
hands and whatnot. It's so
What
weird.
can they do with a
But
hat?
it's
Oh my
super
God.
cool. Yeah. I'm trying to put them in like a loaf of bread or a pie. Mr. Potato Pie.
Your birthday's coming up and you're getting a Mr.
Oh.
Potato Pie.
It's got arms and legs coming out of it. All right. So yeah, so that
So
happens.
sick right now. That's right.
I'm trying to remember like everything that happens in during this heist portion, because once the distraction happens, then Woody can help Slinky escape, and once Slinky can help him drop down and grab somebody, or maybe the instruction manual to figure out how to fix Buzz, and then they get Jesse out, and
Which is cool because they do fix Buzz, but instead of fixing him to like our normal what we think is Buzz, they change him to Spanish mode Buzz.
Spanish Buzz.
And they're
Probably
actually-
another funniest moment.
There are
Like,
a lot of toys that you can do that though. Like probably not an action figure like that. Like that's kind of weird.
Mhm.
But like there's a lot of like music toys where it's like Spanish.
You can
English,
change the
Spanish,
language.
English,
But
yeah.
that's hilarious that it's not our Buzz again. It's still a brand new
It's
Buzz.
still new Buzz.
But he's more apt like to what's
Yes.
happening. But he's
Because they're the ones who wake him up. Like before, when Lotso switches him over to New Buzz pops out, and Lotso goes, "We've defeated Zurg. Whatever.
Sure.
This is your mission now." And he goes, "All right, cool. I'm good." And now that the toys have him, they're like, "Okay, Spanish Buzz, come with us. We're gonna go to your spaceship, and we'll figure it out." And so I think Buzz is just very receptive to whoever happens to be
True, that makes
raising him,
sense.
I guess, at the time.
He's also
but he becomes enamored
super into Jesse.
with Jesse.
Oh, he sees
immediately.
Jesse.
Well, he's
Jesse
always-
turns
we know
around.
that Buzz has been into Jesse like since the end of the last movie, and
Yes.
even like parts at the beginning of this movie.
Mhm.
He's always like,
Oh, is it hot in here? Oh, Jesse.
You know.
Oh boy.
And Jesse like totally knows Buzz is like enamored with it.
Yeah, and
her,
she likes him
She
too.
likes him too. But like when he's Spanish Buzz, he got all that confidence. So
Spanish
got the
Buzz
hips.
sees Jesse turn around, and he's like, "Mi amor." I've never seen something so beautiful
which
in
is
my
so
life.
funny because it doesn't matter what he is. I guess he's just still into Jesse. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love it.
And
That's
he
too
does a
good.
whole dance routine, and his dance
The
is
dance
so
is too good.
funny because he's like crouching down and he's putting his arms up. He looks like a bird doing a
like
mating
a
dance.
matador,
Yeah.
matador, whatever you call it.
Matador.
Is that what that is?
Oh, a matador.
A matador.
Matador.
It's
With a
so
bull.
it's so hilarious, and Jesse's
good
just like,
stuff.
"What is happening?" And then and then Woody comes in and he sees Jesse for like first time in a while, and they hug, and Spanish Buzz goes, "La cowboy" or whatever he says. I don't know how to say cowboy in Spanish.
Gaucho? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Luis, how do you say?
Our
he's
Spanish
asleep.
speaker is
Caballero,
sleepy.
Luis literally ate all the snacks and then fell asleep. There's not one snack for any
Wait,
person.
Luis, how do you say cowboy?
Yeah, we laughed
How do
you
you say
awake.
cowboy in Spanish?
I don't know, but a gaucho would be like a kind of like a cowboy, but more like not the Western cowboys you think of, but the ones that like go out into the acres and acres of land and just rattle up the cattle.
Oh,
A cattleman. if you
Cattleman.
will.
Gaucho. El gaucho.
But that's what you would call them in South America, a gaucho. But I don't know.
What about
anything
sheriff?
Else.
Maybe he said that. I don't know.
Comandante?
Comandante. I don't think that's what
No,
he said.
that's commander.
But that would have been pretty funny.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Anyway, so their mission is going pretty successful. They've gathered up all their toys. At one point, Mr. Tortilla Head got attacked by a bird. He got ripped up, and he had to transfer his consciousness into like a pickle or something like that from the garden. So he's like Mr. Picklehead now. Anyway,
Which is actually better for me because it doesn't.
and
do
Mrs.
this.
Mrs.
I hate
Potato Head is
pickles.
so funny because she's
I
like,
hate pickles too.
she's
but
like, oh my God, you're so tall and skinny.
she is ridiculous.
he looks like Andre when he's in a pickle.
Yeah, if I was a pickle,
Okay.
I'd look like Mr. Picklehead. Anyway, they transfer him to his regular potato body.
You do a really good
at some point.
Mrs. Potato Head too.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh!
He's a voice actor.
My babies!
So good.
So they gather everyone together. Their plan is to go through the garbage chute to get to the dumpster, which will lead them out of Sunnyside Daycare, out of the walls, and then they can make their escape from there.
Star Wars.
So they
Down the
to the trash compactor.
compactor.
Exactly. It just keeps coming back, you guys. So they find their way to the trash compactor. They get to the dumpster, and then Lotso shows up, and he's like, "You guys have been rustling my jimmies this entire time, and I'm tired of it." And then Woody reveals to Big Baby, who is standing there looking all creepy. He's like,
As the muscle.
yeah, as the muscle.
He's terrifying.
He goes, "Big Baby, Lotso, he's the one who prevented you from going back to Daisy. Daisy still wanted you. It was only Lotso that got replaced." And he shows him the little Daisy pin or whatever that he has. And Big Baby goes, and
Good Lord.
you suddenly stop feeling as creeped out by Big Baby. Is a little bit sad for him, but he's still real creepy. He's got that lazy eye, and there's like that little kid drawings all over him, like the marker marks
I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
it's his
all over his
prison
little baby
tats.
body.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen so many. They're basically a naked baby doll because they don't have their clothes on
Yeah.
or whatever. So many baby dolls that look like that, like at my job, where I'm like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, get this
It's
out
real
of here.
gross.
Put some clothes on.
It's gross.
this
And
thing.
Big Baby was really reminding me of all of the Sid toys from Toy Story
Yeah.
1.
For sure.
But
It's like the
somehow
best
worse.
looking of
Yeah,
what he had.
exactly.
Yeah.
But still really creepy. So basically all the toys get tossed into the trash, including Lotso. Excuse me. I didn't think that was going to be as loud as it was. Will I cut it out? No.
It's my husband, y'all.
They all get thrown into the trash, and the dumpster
Wouldn't
gets
have heard it on the air if he had done that.
You
the
might have.
fart mic. The dumpster gets put into a garbage truck. The garbage truck is taken to the dump, and they get dumped into the dump.
Thank you for
They get
that.
dumped into the dump.
They dump into the
the
dump.
titular dump. So
Once again, the detail on this dump is amazing. Just saying.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
kinda
Acres and
crazy.
Acres of just
Garbage.
it's garbage. So
They
much
use
garbage.
This, they use the same footage for Wally. I don't know. No, they didn't.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Garbage.
But they're the dump is in full active mode. So there's like a tractor or something like that sweeping garbage
Yeah.
out of the way. The three little aliens get taken away from everybody else. And then then all of the main toys get pushed down into what is like apparently a grinder. They see
Yes.
it grinding up all the garbage, and they go like, we gotta get out of here. There's a magnet up at the top of the grinder to keep all the metal out, so
Yeah.
it picks up all the metal. The toys all grab onto metal pieces, fly up to the ceiling. And then they realize that Lotso is in there with them. And Lotso's going, help me, help me.
Nuh-uh. I
I'm
would've
just a
let
big
that
bear.
dude got
Please help me. And
Yeah.
Woody's such a good guy
I
that he and
know.
Buzz go down there, help him out. They all fly up to the top, get past the grinder, and then drop back down. And then they think they're kind of in the clear. They're like, okay, now we just got to get out of here, and then we're good to go. But the garbage is quickly racing to some light that you see in the background, and Rex goes, oh my God, I think we're free. I think I see daylight. And then they go, I don't know if that's daylight. And then you realize that they are in a huge incinerator. It's
Which
gigantic.
Is just too much.
It's awful. And so they're trying to make their way out. They're trying to run away from the incinerator. Lotso sees that there's a big stop button. He goes up, tries to hit the button, and he's having trouble getting up there or whatever. Buzz and Woody help him out. So he gets up and away, and the rest of the toys are still running away, and they're like, hit the button, Lotso, hit the button. And he's like, I don't think so,
He's
toys.
like, peace out, suckers.
Peace out. Even though you just saved my life, I'm still evil. Goodbye. So he leaves. So there's no way for them to get out of this place. They get dropped into where the incinerator is, and it's just slowly grinding garbage into fire.
Like the slowest scene of the movie.
Oh, it takes so long.
And then they all start holding hands. I'm like, Jesus.
The toys like accept their fate. They see that there's no other way out, and they're just gonna be burned up into little plastic crisps in this fire pit. And so they hold each other's hands, and this is that point we were talking about where I'm like, why Pixar? Why must we do it this way?
Well,
this is awful.
Pixar is like that, dude.
It is so beautiful as well.
Yes,
The way that the fire,
you can see it like the heat emanating off of their like little plastic faces and stuff.
Like, oh God, like I almost felt like getting hot. Like it was just so beautiful.
It's so hot in there.
Oh.
And it's awful, and
like it.
they're just slowly racing to the fire, and it's happening, and it's happening, and it's
I ran
happening.
away at this point. I was in the bathroom drying my hair. I was like, goodbye, until I heard Andre say, the clock.
Yes. A bright light appears from the top. A gigantic trash claw swoops in, picks them up. It flies up above everything else, and you see the three little aliens have saved the day. It's dope. They drop them down.
The last freaking second.
And Mr. Potato Head says to the three little aliens who have been like his surrogate children this entire time, he goes, you saved our lives. We're eternally grateful. And the aliens go, Daddy.
I love the aliens.
And so that's basically the end of the adventure. From here, they make it back to Andy's house.
What happens to Lotso?
They hose themselves off. Lotso, who has escaped, finds a garbage truck that he's going to try to escape on. The garbage man sees Lotso and goes, hey, I had one of these when I was a kid. It smells like strawberries. Isn't that cool? And then he straps Lotso to the front of a garbage truck and
right on the
along with some other toys. And the other toys like, you better keep your mouth closed. And they all got bugs all over their faces and stuff. It's so nasty. So that's how he's going to spend the rest of eternity. That's kind of nice.
That's good to know.
It's fitting.
Do it.
Great. It's almost actually it's definitely worse than Stinky Pete just being strapped in like a little girl's backpack or whatever, you know. So the toys make it back home. They hose themselves off because they're all trashy and dirty and garbagey from the daycare and the dump. And then they make their way into Andy's room, into a box that says the attic or college or whatever. And then Andy comes in. He sees that they're all back, and Woody has written a note to Andy from Andy's mom saying, like, you could donate these to Bonnie, basically. And so
Bonnie, she's so cute.
So Andy takes it upon himself to take his toys and donate them, not to a daycare, but to another kid who is kind of like him, who has all the imagination.
She's like quiet, too.
He takes his toys to a good home, basically.
And it's so sweet, that scene with them when he's like, oh, this is your foot.
Yeah, he introduces all the toys to Bonnie and gets her to know them, and then they play together. And this is the montage where Andre's tears start to fall, okay? Because it's so sweet that he's like, I'm giving you all these. Oh, wait, Woody's in here too. Woody wasn't supposed to be in here. Woody's supposed to come with me to college, but
She's like, my cowboy.
You seem like you know what you're gonna do with him, and it's gonna be better for him and you that he's here with you. So he has to let go of his entire childhood in this moment and give it all to Bonnie.
I think that like I said earlier, because it comes so full circle. Because we've seen him grow up, even though he was never the focus.
Right.
We saw him grow up. We saw the toys grow with him. And then we saw this little girl fall in love with him, even for a short period of time. It allowed us to have the same cathartic moment that he had.
Yeah.
And let them go too. That's why I'm mad that there's an extra movie. Like,
I know.
you just told me to let it go.
Yeah.
You
I let them all go.
Yes. You made me sing the song before Elsa even was there. And then you were like, oh, look, Frozen 2. Like, stop.
Yeah. Also, You Got a Friend in Me is playing during this montage of them playing.
Best Toy Story song.
Yeah. It's really sad and really sweet and really happy all at the same time.
Exactly. And I think that's why
it's a beautiful
so
ending.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then at the very last shot, it pans up into the sky and you see the clouds, and they look exactly like the clouds that are on Andy's wall in the first one. And it's like, zing, put a check mark on that because it's over.
That's why
Boom,
they had
Toy
to put
Story.
I, Un Amigo, and Me in the credits because that was depressing, man.
Yes, the credits has some
in
fun
here.
scenes because it shows that back at Sunnyside Daycare, Lotso's gone and Ken is like in charge of everything now, and now everything is kind of cool.
Barbie stayed, right?
Barbie stayed with Ken. They do fashion shows together. Oh, by the way, we missed the scene where Barbie and Ken had a fashion show.
Stop.
And
I grouped that one in my head with when
them
they're
meeting.
doing like the dream house.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's so
Literally,
funny.
Yeah, like we were saying, those are.
He's just wearing all the outfits and posing in front of her and stuff, and she's just enjoying it.
I love when she like breaks up with him at the beginning too. She's like, "Give me back my scarf." Like they're just so ridiculous.
They're great together.
If it was any other toy in the whole world, it would not be as funny.
Right.
Like, it is just perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton as Ken. Batman.
Ridiculous.
Batman's in this movie.
As Ken.
As Ken. It's hilarious. Also in
So
the end credits, it shows Jesse hanging out with Buzz.
And he's still like.
Well, yeah, he's still like that, but she turns on like some Spanish music, and then Buzz's hips just start moving.
And he doesn't have a choice.
He's
Like, it just
like,
starts
"What is happening?" She's like, "Just go with it, Buzz," and they start dancing.
Just like that.
I think I wrote in my notes, I assume that Emily does this to Luis all the time.
Shout.
Just let
Turn on the music and
let them
Luis's
hips start
moving.
I think Buzz and Jesse are so cute, and what bugs me is like if you're in the. This is what bugs me is if you're in the parks. Usually you just see Buzz like by himself. Sometimes you'll see Woody and Jesse together. Like you'll see Woody or you'll see Jesse, but why don't we get Buzz and Jesse? Like they a couple. I should give them a picture with Buzz and Jesse. They're so cute.
I think because of where they were in the parks.
I know.
Buzz is in Star
right in
Day After
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
And others are in
And,
Frontierland. Yeah, I know.
And what's her name's in the old pit house, roundhouse, whatever, where you used to get the.
Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
But it would be cute
Yeah.
if I saw
It
them
used to
together.
be in Big Thunder, but
Big
it's not
Thunder
there
is what I'm
anymore.
trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be cute if you saw them together.
It would.
I agree.
It would make sense. They should meet up. Outside the lands. Like, hey, what's going
Hey, I
on?
would think
And
right.
then
Hey,
do
no,
a dance
like,
routine.
hey,
He
do a little
starts
dance.
dancing, right?
Yeah, I would think right now would be the time they'd be out there on like Valentine's Day.
Right? Yeah.
You know,
That's
I wouldn't put
interesting.
it past Disney to
Like
do
there's
that.
a couple that people like ship like how I do.
I mean, they should because they're pretty great together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of the movie, and it's really heartwarming and nice, and it's a fantastic ending to a awesome trilogy. You know,
Agreed.
it's really good.
It's
So
not a trilogy though.
when we get to
No,
Toy Story
it's a
4,
trilogy. All right.
Yeah.
when we get to the
You
fourth
might
one,
like it, Emily. You don't know. You don't
No,
know.
Yeah.
no. I'm just saying that, like, in my mind, this is the end of that.
Correct.
Like,
Oh, it
trilogy.
is. It is.
Yeah.
The
You know?
next movie is more of just an extra.
yeah,
It's fluff.
yeah. As much as Toy Story 4 is a Toy Story movie, and it feels like a Toy Story movie, it is. I wish that it had somehow found its way in like the middle of of these stories, instead of after.
It's like all the Forky stuff wouldn't make sense if they had done that, though.
Sure, we'll get to that next time.
Oh, Forky. Speaking of which, as we have already figured out, we will be doing the fourth one. It's now streaming on
now on Disney Plus. It is up and available.
We still have not watched it, just to wait to record this so that we can go in with fresh minds.
With fresh eyes, yes.
We might even watch it tonight because Louie and I keep talking about it because we are excited to see it.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited to watch it again.
Just because it's something new, which is always fun.
Yeah, and that's exciting. There's a couple of new things on Disney Plus that we might be getting into at some point, I suppose. But for now, I'm looking up the Toy Story 3 Rotten Tomatoes score.
Well, while you do that, do you want me to give you some
yes,
Easter
I was
eggs?
gonna be
yes,
like,
please.
Where was the pizza truck in this one?
The pizza? Oh, the
Pizza Planet truck was during the Lotso flashback when they have to make their way to Sunnyside Daycare. He hops on that, and it's the Pizza Planet truck.
Yes. Okay. So, Easter eggs here. We have quite a few. The first one we know is Sid, right? Where we think that it's Sid is the garbage man because of
his skull shirt.
The second one is there's a hometown map behind Andy's bed on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's marked with a whole bunch of push pins. And the push pins correspond with the hometowns of all the film's production team.
Oh.
Which is really cool.
That's kind of cool.
One of the street signs when they're driving to the daycare is West Cutting Boulevard, and that's a street where Pixar was originally located in Richmond, California. There is a Newt Crossing sticker on Andy's door on the backside side of it, and that was going to be a Pixar movie, but we just haven't seen it at this point. It was supposed to have come out in 2012, and so it must have been gone by in production at this point.
Yeah.
Finn McMessel is a character in Cars 2, and that was a car poster behind Andy's bed as well. He's the one that's like the James Bond-esque character in Cars 2. You haven't seen it.
I have not seen Cars 2.
He's an Aston Martin, and he's very
Gotcha.
hello. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
We see our A113 in this movie.
It's
always been on her license plate. So that's also still there. But the cool thing is that the outside of her license plate now says Tiger Pride, and that's a reference to the director's hometown in Ohio, which that was a school mascot with the Tigers. So that's kind of funny. Totoro. That's right. He's in this movie.
Wait, Totoro. I always say Totoro.
I haven't watched it in a while.
Okay, good. We say it the same way.
Okay.
Tater tots.
I just like saying it like that.
Tater Tots is in Bonnie's room.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. What was I gonna say? Oh, John Morris is the original voice of Andy, and he still was the voice of Andy. So it's the same. Because
he was a kid when they recorded Toy Story 1.
Yes.
And he's an adult when they do Toy Story 3.
So he was 26 when he did it.
That's dope.
Which is pretty cool.
That's cool. I didn't even think about that.
Yes. The By and Large we see in this movie as well, which we've seen before from the other Toy Stories and Wall-E.
Yeah, I was about to say Wall-E. That's the whole reason why the Earth
ended.
The train engine in the opening sequence has a big 95 in the referencing to the year that the movie was opened, but also Lightning McQueen's racing number. Right. So I don't know, it could be either one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there's a kid sporting a Lightning McQueen TV shirt later on in the movie. So who knows, right?
That's cool.
There is a Pixar University banner flag hanging on the wall while they were in development for that movie. This is when that was. What else? There's a Finding Nemo sticker at the bottom of Andy's toy chest. What else?
I'm trying to think if
The postcard on Andy's board says Carl and Ellie Fredrickson.
Oh.
Dude, they always they pack in those Easter eggs, man.
And it's from them, from Up, obviously. Mm-hmm. The number 237 is the screen name of the screen name. Where was the screen? Oh,
the dinosaur.
Of the dinosaur.
The Bonnie's dinosaur. She's like, oh, don't worry about that. It's just a dinosaur I'm hanging out with down the street.
Exactly.
She like chats with
her.
him.
Her screen name is 237, and the director's favorite movie was The Shining, and that's the number of the room in The Shining.
The Shining.
And then
Toy Story 1 had another Shining reference. It was the carpet.
The carpet, yes.
That? Yeah.
And then blah 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 blah. And then they talk about the modeling of Ken and Barbie, but who cares?
Right.
They're Ken and Barbie.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I thought those were
Which
pretty
is
good,
like
though.
obvious.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, so shmoney time. This
Shmoney.
movie had a budget of $200 million,
Jeez.
which is a lot, but not as much as its worldwide domestic gross, which is $1,066 million.
And this was the highest grossing Toy Story movie. I'm
Correct.
pretty sure.
Yes. I have
Yeah, because
Wow.
guess what? Once one person saw it and said it was good and depressing, then I was like, you better go be sad too. Go be sad. Go figure it out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild numbers because I believe Toy Story 2 only made $497 million. So this made double the amount.
And then this
of the
Toy
previous.
Story 3 came out
2010.
like a decade, like 11 years after Toy Story 2.
Yes.
Right?
Toy Story 2 was
Wasn't it 99 or 2000?
99. Yes.
Okay, so 11 years later,
Mhm.
I also think that's why this was like the highest grossing one too, because
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh my gosh,
And why
we're
it-
getting
it
another."
hit so
like it
hard.
was like a bigger deal than when
Mhm.
4 came out. People were like, "Why?"
We just
You know
had
what I
one.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Even though the difference between 3 and 4 was another like 10 years, basically, or
Yeah.
9 years.
Although I
2019.
will say, like when we get
But
into
there was less wrap. I mean, there was no wrap up
Right.
yeah,
from the second to the third.
Correct.
when we get into our 4 discussion, I don't think adults were as excited about 4 coming out, but
Mhm.
the kids that I worked with were 110%
Right.
stoked.
Yeah.
So
For
I
them.
think they were like eating it up,
Yeah.
especially with all the Forky stuff. We'll get into that.
Forky asked a question.
What's its Rotten Tomato?
On
I don't know.
on Rotten Tomatoes, Toy Story 3 has a 98%.
Okay, so 98. What did Toy Story 2 have?
Toy Story 2 had a 100%.
And what about 1?
Let me find one real quick.
I feel like 1 was also 100.
I think that one is pretty high as well. Hang on.
So what? Maybe it got like 1 bad.
Toy Story 1 has a 100%, Toy Story 2 has a 100%, and Toy Story 3 has a 98%.
Which is hilarious because
Because
I
once
mean,
again,
not that I'm gonna like, Peter Patter over.
It's because somebody was
2%.
like, it made me feel things.
There was
That's
an
why.
Emily
Yeah,
amongst
maybe.
the
You know what I
critics,
mean?
right? I don't like all these feelings it's giving me.
But yeah,
it out.
okay, it was
I
fantastic.
also want to ask this now because I just want to know preemptively what does Toy Story 4 have?
Let's look. Let's see here.
Well, I'll start with my rating while you're looking that up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5,
Yeah.
which is one of my highest ratings. But there's no problems. I just don't believe any movie's perfect.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It
Besides-
had great music. The variations of the music were great.
Yeah.
The character development was fantastic. I love how they wrapped everything up.
Yeah.
I laughed. I cried.
Mhm.
I just, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Emily. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. And honestly, what did I give 2? A 9. 2 is still my favorite. I'm giving this one a 9.5 just on the fact that the animation was so
Oh,
absolutely stinking beautiful.
Yeah.
So kudos to that because that took a lot of work. That's why I'm gonna bump it up.
It's wild. These particular Pixar movies, and most Pixar movies are fantastic, but these first 3 Toy Stories, in the way that they tell story and develop their characters and develop their animation style as time goes on, it's so perfect. It's so amazing. It's like I don't know of another trilogy that does it as well as Toy Story did it. You know,
Ours didn't. Nope.
definitely not Cars.
They tried so hard.
Yeah.
Well, 3
And
was, 3 was a lot better, but
3 was fantastic.
3 was
in
good.
comparison.
they
Mhm.
messed
But,
up
like,
with 2, man.
I'm surprised they got a 3.
Right.
Like, holy moly.
Based off of Cars 2. Yeah, so I mean the way that this one rounds it all out and finishes it up and makes a fantastic
It's
ending.
beautiful.
I think I have to give it a 9.5 as well.
And if you think about it too, like I can't think when I think of Toy Story now, I think of those 3 as a collective whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially in the parks, they have like Senor Buzz churros, or like Jessie to me is just there, even though she's not in
That's
the
what
first
always
one.
trips me
Like,
out, too.
You almost think of them as like a collective whole. So
Mhm.
that's how you know it's like a good trilogy.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
not like, oh, yeah, that character from the 3rd movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, they're each very distinctive stories.
Maybe not Bonnie's Toys as much.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. This stuff is just awesome. They did the best job on the first franchise in the Pixar
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
So I have a question. How long is this episode so far?
We're at an hour and 7 minutes.
Not bad.
Well, I think we have some time
Mhm.
to do something we haven't done in a really long time.
But first, we want Lou's rating.
Okay, lose
Give
rating.
your rating.
We're leaving him out of the rating. We all
Well.
gave it a 9.5.
Yes.
He was awake for that part.
You agree?
9.5.
9.5.
Wow.
Don't need number 4.
A sweep.
Don't
We don't
need
get
number
sweeps
4.
very often
Yeah,
on our scores.
we swept it. So, is the thing that we're doing the thing I think we were doing? Toy battle. See, we're married,
That
dude.
was really good.
Wait, is this also first time ever Royal Rumble?
What's a Royal
What's
Rumble?
a Royal Rumble?
Explain.
Nah, actually, we kind of
Explain.
already went through this.
Hold on, what's a Royal Rumble?
Which one is the best one? 1, 2, or
Oh
3?
no, not
Oh,
like.
okay.
Oh,
no.
well, we're going to get into
We'll-
that
we'll do
discussion.
that next
We're going to
time.
do
Yes.
our rankings in the next
We'll,
one.
yeah, we'll totally do that next
I
time.
already know
But
mine, but we'll.
Do you know?
So
do you
what's
know
our
what
battle?
your battle is today? Which
have one?
toy villain is worse?
Ooh.
Because we have 2 toy villains in Toy Story so far
Yes.
Yeah.
that I know of.
Prospector and
We got Stinky
Oslo.
Pete and Lotso.
And Oslo.
Hello.
What'd you call him earlier? Something really funny. I can't remember.
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
I've been watching
Okay.
Irish TV
So
I
shows.
see.
Stinky Pete or Lotso?
Who's the worst? Like, who? I guess not who's the worst because they're both bad in their own ways. But
Yeah.
who do you hate more? Like, who gets your goat?
Interesting. So let's go through them. Stinky Pete, if you remember, Stinky.
I thought you said
he's
Sneaky
he's
Pete.
sneaky too.
In and out of that box. Like nobody
Yes,
does me.
sneaky Stinky Pete. He sets himself up as a nice guy. I'm just here to hang out.
me, I'm a nice
I'm
guy.
excited for where we're
He's
gonna
Luigi.
go. It's a me. I'm a Stinky Pete. And then he commits an ultimate betrayal of trapping Woody, keeping him, making sure that they're gonna get sent to Japan, which is the exact opposite of what Woody and now Jesse and Bullseye want. So he is betraying them. Lotso from this movie, we see him being like, "Hey everybody, it's me. I'm Lotso. Everything's gonna be fine and dandy until you're tied up in a chair and I throw you in the garbage." He's
Oh my God, the way you say that.
he's terrible and he's terrifying and he
But he smells good. He's not stinky.
he smells
No, he
good,
doesn't. He doesn't
not
smell good.
stinky.
Yes, he does. You know you've smelled it.
He smells like strawberries.
Don't
Smells
lie.
faker. Sorry.
We gotta put a little
bleep that one.
there.
So between the two of them, and
Alright.
I'm trying to think of how evil Stinky Pete is as well. But I think Stinky Pete, his motivation is just, I don't want to be.
Where the people are.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be where the people are.
No, he wants to be. He's Ariel.
Yeah, I want to be where the
Wants
people
to be in a cage like a weirdo.
I want to see.
Want to see
See
them
them?
seeing me?
See me? Yes. His motivation is to get to that place so that he can have something to do, which isn't just be locked up in a box with Jesse and Bullseye. And in some ways, I think he is doing it to help Jesse and Bullseye and himself. You know, he wants them to be in a better place. But I think it gets corrupted in his mind as this is the only place. This is the
Yeah.
only place we can go. Whereas Jesse goes like, well, we can go hang out with Andy. I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And he's like, no, we have to go. So that's what's the most evil thing about him.
So you're trying to say that he's had some PTSD, and that's the reason
Yes.
for his
Yeah, Stinky
crazy
Pete just needed a sedative and like a 30-minute he needed
massage,
a 30-minute massage and maybe like an hour
facial.
no, maybe an hour facial.
What
maybe
spa
like
is he going to?
Like
Holy
a
moly.
2-hour shrink session, and he
Oh,
probably
okay.
would have been like, okay,
All
like,
right, yeah, I guess
I'll go.
we're good.
So I already have my answer. It's Lotso. Lotso's the worst. He sucks. He's rude. He's very self-centered. He only cares about himself. He don't care about Ken. He don't care about his gang. He don't care about no one. He just
He
cares
doesn't
about
even care
himself.
about Big Baby,
Yeah,
who's
he
like
doesn't care
Yeah,
about
his
Red
oldest
Baby.
friend.
He ain't care about nobody. He's a selfish little bear. That's
Selfish
little
bear.
Nobody likes, and he tried to kill them in the fire, even when they saved him.
Even after they saved his
Sounds like you
life.
got-
That's true.
Sounds like you're a psychopathic murderer, you Lotto bear. That's what you are.
That's what really.
And the little kids buy him in the store, and they cuddle him at night and smell the strawberries.
That's true.
A psychopathic murderer. That's why I hate that they. I don't understand. Why
He's
they
a
sell him.
step down from Chucky, okay?
Chucky's always been that way. Lotso, you have issues, okay? You're a psychopathic murderer. People cuddle you. They smell you in the night. It's disgusting.
That's what really puts it over the edge in
Gross.
terms of their vileness of
I hate Lotso.
Lotso versus Stinky Pete. Is that Lotso got his life was saved not 2 minutes before,
He
and then
sucks.
he immediately
He
is
still
like,
was like,
I
"Y'all
still
can
hate
have-"
all of you.
He
You could
murdered
all go burn in hell. And and he does, and he sends them off.
And he did, and I remember being in California Adventure, and they had all of those bears out, and there was little girls like, it smells like strawberries, and it's pink, and it's so cute. And I'm like, y'all, that's a murder. I'll never, ever buy my kid a Lotto bear.
Murder.
Murder.
I don't know.
Are you
Yeah.
agreeing with me that Lotso sucks?
Yes, I think
Sorry.
I agree. He does suck butt. And
Potato Head had peas come out of his butt.
he's like, you can't stop messing with my butt. Stay out of my butt.
Yes.
His intentions are way worse. Like I said,
I
I bet
agree.
Stinky Pete could have eventually been convinced.
I
I bet
think-
Stinky Pete is with that girl right now, like having a good life. Actually,
That's probably true.
I think the only reason that I initially leaned towards Stinky Pete was I feel manipulated by him because I did not think he was a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all throughout the movie, I remember being like, "Oh, like I like him,"
Mhm.
and then when he like was out of his box, you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, heck
Yeah,
no!"
it
right?
was it was terrible.
But
when he got
you
out of the
could
box.
tell that Lotso, like he was too.
those
From the
Too
beginning.
much.
those
I
two
didn't trust it
reveals
from the beginning
happened in different
because of Stinky
places,
Pete.
right?
Like I
Right.
was like, well, Stinky Pete was evil. This
Exactly.
bear coming
Stink-
in, I don't think so.
Stinky
Yeah.
Pete, his reveal doesn't happen until Act 3,
Yeah.
right? It's the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, he's the real bad guy. It's not Zurg. And hi, Addie. Bye.
Adios.
Whereas Lotso, he's revealed in Act 2, basically, is like.
But you could
hey.
probably have
and you can tell
sensed
as
it.
soon as you meet him that he's like, oh hey, this voice is totally fake and not real.
Dada.
Addie, who do you like better, Buzz or Woody?
You like Buzz, or you
Does
like
Woody
Woody?
sleep on the couch?
Yeah. Da-da.
Do you like Woody, Eddie?
Mm.
She's like, I like
She's looking at all the
Andy.
empty bags of snacks we got over here.
She got all
and she feels
Louis' extra snacks.
she feels just as betrayed
Louis,
as we
Louis
did.
said that Lotso is the worst. Do you agree? He does.
Louis agrees.
Louis agrees.
All
and Emily,
right.
you agree as well?
Yes.
Yes. Lotso is the worst. So, dun 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 dun. Lotso sucks. All right. That's been it for our battle. That's been it for this
And now we
episode
get to talk about Forky next
of
week.
the Walt Vault. Yes, next week next time
Ooh,
we will be
you haven't even seen the movie yet.
next time we will
Not
be
that the-
talking about the newest Toy Story 4. It is now streaming on Disney Plus. Go check it out if you haven't watched it yet. It is a sequel to Toy Story 3, which a movie that doesn't necessarily need a sequel, but it exists and it's out there, and we're going to talk about it.
It's okay.
Yes. So in the meantime, tell us.
Wait. What was the tomato? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
for Toy Story 4, it has a 97%.
Oh,
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
still
So-
it's
Still-
still working.
still beloved.
You'll
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it. Maybe we'll watch it with you tonight. We'll come back and watch it. Okay.
Yeah, so in the meantime, tell us your opinions on the Toy Story movies, Toy Story 3 specifically. You can find us at the Walt Vault Pod on social media. Go there, leave a comment, check us out. Tell us what your rating is, what you think of it. And this is what your comments are going to sound like. Go there. You can also send us an email to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. We'll read that message on the show. Agreed.
Hey, are you ready to sing, Addie? Hay un amigo en mí.
Amigo and me. You can also help us out by supporting us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/the Walt Vault. Check us out there. Sign up for as little as $1 or more, and you'll get some extra content thrown your way. A word. You can also just hit subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're on. That helps us out a ton. Watch out for them cords, Addy. Man, it's a Toy Story disaster going on over here right now.
Sorry.
Yes, but we want to hear your opinion. So if you're on YouTube, throw a comment down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, click the bell, do all of the things. That's been it for now for this week on the Walt Vault. Check us out next time. The vault is now closed.